Applesauce. Her favorite one. But I'm happy for you.
I'm sure Agnes didn't mean anything by it.
Girls, look, I always hoped that you and I were the same, but... Paula, you have so much to do. I'll spruce little Agnes up. Thank you.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know the Testaments, the plot follows a new generation of young women navigating the regime of Gilead. The girls are raised in Gilead Cage, attending an elite preparatory school where they are groomed to become submissive wives to commanders. So that is the whole plot. To be honest, when I saw this series going around at the beginning, I was actually hesitating to watch it. But let me tell you, it got me hooked from episode 1. I haven't finished the whole season yet. I'm currently, if I'm not mistaken, on season 1, episode 7. And so far, I have to say that every single episode is a hit. Every single episode just builds up more the drama and everything that they have going on, when it comes to the whole plot of the series. And Agnes and Becca's story is also super interested, and I feel like it does need to be spoken more about because, like I said, for me, their plot, besides everything else that they have going on, is a mega, mega, mega important, story in the series, and we can see how it influenced a lot on how, the series actually ends up, ending, which I saw, but I don't want to speak about it because I haven't seen it yet. So we will be speaking more about Becca and, in this case, Agnes, situation, friendship, one-sided love story that they have going on. So basically, Agnes, after being stolen from her biological parents, she was adopted and raised by a high-ranking commander whose name is Mackenzie, and his wife, who they actually end up renaming her to Agnes. On the other hand, we have Becca. Becca is the closest childhood friend and classmate of Agnes. She is the daughter of a prominent dentist and stand out as one of the most tragic center figures in the narrative. If you guys don't know, Becca actually harbors secret, romantic feelings for her best friend Agnes. The tragic, emotional, loaded relationship climates into season 1. So what I'm trying to say is that Becca has feelings for Agnes, but she knows that the reality that they live in and the fact that they are being groomed to end up, being married to men, and also just, the way they are living and the way they are raised is probably a love story that will never happen. But obviously she and, Agnes, they have a very close bond. You can just see they are there for one another through thick and thin, no matter what. But obviously you can later on see that Agnes starts to develop feelings for this young commander who's about to become a commander. But what actually ends up happening is that Becca ends up, getting chosen to be, in this case, how can I say, the match of this commander that Agnes has fallen in love with. So actually they don't end up choosing who they get matched up with, the Gilead, staff and people in charge are the people organized and in charge of making the matches. So what I'm trying to say is that Becca gets matched with the man that Agnes falls in love with. Obviously you can see that Becca always tells, Agnes that she doesn't want to get married. She doesn't want to be just another woman, submissive woman married to a man. She doesn't want to get married with a man, basically making it very, very clear that she's not interested in men. She's not interested in having a family with a man. She makes it very clear. But obviously Agnes has other plans for herself. Agnes do want to get married. She does want to be, a wife and be submissive and go through everything that she has been brought up to be. So they are very, very, very different, but they also come together in a very interesting way. But where the plot actually ends up taking a mega, mega, mega turn is when, Agnes, who decides to go to a visit to the doctor, in this case, Becca's father. He's actually the one that check out the girls when it comes to their teeth and to make sure they, their teeth are good, because it's very, very important for them to have a very good hygiene when it comes to everything that they are grown for. So later on, you can see that Agnes goes through a very, tragic, situation with Becca's father, because Becca's father is a very evil man. If you guys can put one and one together, he is a very evil man, and he basically, are doing things to the girls that he has no business doing when it comes to hopefully I can make it clear with that. So you can see that Agnes, she starts to basically moved differently with Becca, and not because she wanted to push Becca away, but I do feel like she wanted to tell Becca what her father did to her, but she also didn't know how to confront it because she didn't know how that would affect everything that they have going on. So I haven't gotten to the point yet where she told, in this case, Becca about everything that her father have done to her while she were, going to see him when it came to, to getting her teeth checked out. But what I actually end up seeing is that will take a mega turn, and that will definitely play a mega role in the whole narrative of the series. So I don't want to speak about an ending that I haven't seen yet. I will be seeing it very soon. Like I said, I've only watched it from episode 1 to 7. But so far, what I can see is that Agnes, she is at a breaking point where she will tell Becca about what Becca's father did to her, and it looks like he also did it to other girls as well. And then I can also see that Becca, she's very afraid. Like, she doesn't want to get matched. She just wishes that, nobody picks her, and that her family doesn't like none of the people, that, Gilead has picked her, because she doesn't want to get married. She made it so many times clear, to Agnes, but Agnes just say, it is what it is. We will just have to do it. On the other hand, Agnes has fallen in love with the security guard is taking, care of her, who's soon to be a commander. But now this commander is matched with Becca, so we will have to see how that situation will also play out. But I can definitely see that eventually Becca also confessing her feelings to Agnes. I don't know how Agnes is gonna react. I have seen some situations going on and comments going on, but I try not to dive deep into it because I don't want it to get spoiled for me. But it's definitely a one-sided love story. It's definitely not a mutual feeling. I do feel like, in this case, Agnes care for Becca a lot. Like, she is one of the most important people in her, in this case, person in her life. But we can also see that she also understands that she doesn't even know that Becca has these feelings for her. So we will have to see how they will play out once she finds out as well. But obviously Becca doesn't or ever, I feel like she have given signs to Agnes that she likes her and that she's into her. But obviously she knows it's a feeling, and even if she does tell her how she feels, it will not make a difference because in the situation, in the environment that they are in, she knows it's an impossible love. So she just is just covering it up and just praying that she doesn't get matched with nobody because she does not want to be a wife. Like, she is actually a gay woman. I can say that of what I can see, and of course of what I could read. She doesn't want to be married to a man. She doesn't want to live this reality that all the other girls are seeking forward. So she just wants to leave Gilead, but she knows she cannot leave because she's stuck in this system. So there's a lot that we will still see to be unveiled. This is only my part 1 review. I will highly recommend you also go ahead, go watch, go support it. If you guys don't know, it is available to watch on Disney Plus and Hulu. It has 1 season available with 10 episodes. Yes, it looks like, possibly, allegedly, we might get a season 2, and hopefully we do, because let me tell you, I definitely did enjoy watching the series. I feel like it's super, super, mega underrated, and it's 100 trillion% worth to watch. So go ahead, go watch, go support, and stay tuned for part 2.